You know what makes me mad? All the financial content out there assumes you're making like $75,000 a year and just need to optimize your money. They're like, just max out your Roth IRA. And I'm sitting here making $32,000 thinking, dude, I'm trying to figure out how to afford groceries and gas this week. Where's the content for people who are actually struggling with limited income? Yeah, so I've been there. For years, I was making barely enough to cover my bills, and every piece of financial information I found was completely useless because it was designed for people making way more than me. I felt like building wealth was impossible unless I somehow doubled my income overnight, which obviously wasn't happening. And that feeling of being stuck, like there's nothing you can do to improve your situation, that's brutal. My name is Don, and I used to think I needed to become a financial expert before I could invest, when really I just needed to understand like 5 basic things and then actually start. But here's what I figured out about making progress on a limited income. You absolutely can move forward financially even when you're not making a lot of money. You just can't follow the same playbook as people making twice what you make. You need different strategies, different priorities, and honestly, different mindsets. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you want to see more content about building wealth and making smarter money decisions. Trust me, what I am about to share is specifically for people who are tired of financial information that doesn't apply to their actual income level. All right, let's start with the first thing you need to understand about making progress without a big income. Small amounts actually matter way more than you think. So here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. When you don't have a lot of money, it's easy to think that small amounts don't matter. Like, what's the point of saving $25 when I need thousands? What difference does $50 in investments make when rich people are putting in thousands per month? This thinking kept me stuck for years because I convinced myself that if I couldn't make big moves, there was no point in making any moves. But that's completely backwards. Small amounts matter more when you have less money, not less. Let me show you why with some real numbers that actually changed how I think about this. When I was making $30,000 a year, I managed to save $50 per month. That felt like nothing. I'd look at my savings account and think, wow, $50, I'm basically broke. But here's what I didn't understand at the time. That $50 per month saved is $600 per year. Over 5 years, even without any interest, that's $3,000. And $3,000 when you're making $30,000 is literally 10% of your annual income. That's not nothing, but it gets better. If you invest that $50 per month instead of just saving it, and it grows at 8% annually, after 20 years, you have about $29,000. After 30 years, you have about $73,000. That meaningless $50 per month becomes life-changing money over time. The mistake people make with limited income is waiting until they can save or invest real amounts. But there's no such thing as a real amount. There's only starting or not starting. And the difference between someone who invests $50 per month for 30 years and someone who waits until they can afford to invest $200 per month but delays starting for 10 years? The person who started with $50 ends up with more money because they had time on their side. I started investing with $75 per month when I was making maybe $32,000 per year. That's 2.8% of my gross income. People told me it wasn't worth it, that I should wait until I could afford more. But that $75 per month, starting at 27 years old, is worth way more than $300 per month, starting at 35, because of compound growth over time. So if you're making limited income and you think your small contributions don't matter, you're wrong. They matter more than you think, and they matter most because of time, not amount. Start with whatever you can, even if it feels embarrassingly small. The second thing about making progress on limited income, you need to focus on percentages, not dollar amounts. All right, this is another mental shift that completely changed how I think about money. When you're making limited income, comparing yourself to people making more will destroy your motivation. Someone making $80,000 saving $1,000 per month sounds impressive until you realize they're only saving 15% of their income. Meanwhile, you're making $35,000 and saving $300 per month, which is 10.3%. You're closer to their savings rate than you think. The metric that matters is your savings rate, which is what percentage of your income you're keeping instead of spending. And here's what's wild. It's often easier to achieve a high savings rate on a lower income than on a higher income, because lifestyle inflation is real. When I was making $32,000, I was saving about 8% of my income. That was roughly $215 per month. Now I'm making more, and I'm saving about 18% of my income. That sounds like huge progress, right? But think about it. I increased my savings rate by 10 percentage points. The person making $32,000 who goes from saving nothing to saving 10% has made the exact same relative progress as someone making $100,000 who goes from saving nothing to saving 10%. The point is, don't get caught up in dollar amounts. If you increase your savings rate from 0% to 5%, that's huge progress. If you go from 5% to 10%, that's doubling your savings rate, which is massive, even though the dollar increase might seem small. Here's how to think about this practically. Calculate your current savings rate. Take your monthly take-home income and divide your monthly savings by it. If you make $2,500 per month after taxes and save $125, that's a 5% savings rate. Now, make it your goal to increase that percentage over time. Going from 5% to 8% is a 60% increase in your savings rate. That's incredible progress, even though it might only be an extra $75 per month in actual dollars. And as your income grows over time, that percentage applies to a larger number, which means your wealth building accelerates automatically. I track my savings rate every quarter, and my goal is to increase it by just 1 percentage point per year. Some years I hit it, some years I don't. But over time, my savings rate has gone from 8% to 18%. And that's made a huge difference in my financial trajectory. The third strategy for limited income: optimize what you control, which is spending, not what you don't control, which is your income in the short term. Here's something that took me way too long to accept. In the short term, your income is basically fixed. Like, yeah, you can work overtime or pick up side gigs, and we'll talk about that. But your main income from your job? That's not changing next week or next month. Your raise isn't coming for another year. You can't just decide to make more money tomorrow. But your spending? That you can change immediately. And when you have limited income, even small reductions in spending create meaningful breathing room. Let me show you how powerful this is with my actual numbers. When I was making $30,000 per year, I was spending about $2,300 per month and saving basically nothing. I felt completely trapped, like there was no way to get ahead because my income was so limited. Then I actually tracked my spending for a month and realized I was spending $180 per month on things I didn't even remember buying. Just random purchases and convenience spending. I was spending $95 per month on subscriptions, about half of which I barely used. I was spending about $450 per month on food, including a lot of eating out. I cut the random spending by being more conscious. I canceled $45 worth of subscriptions. I reduced my food spending to $300 by meal prepping and eating out way less. Just those three categories saved me about $280 per month. That's over 13% of my take-home pay that I freed up by making conscious decisions about spending. That $280 per month became my financial progress. Some went to paying off credit card debt faster. Some went to building an emergency fund, and eventually some went to investing. I didn't increase my income at all, but I made way more progress than before just by optimizing what I could control. Now, I'm not saying you should cut everything fun out of your life. That's not sustainable. But most people waste money on things that don't actually bring them value or joy. And when you have limited income, you can't afford to waste money on stuff that doesn't matter to you. Do an audit of your spending. What are you spending money on that you wouldn't even miss if it was gone? For me, it was half my subscriptions and most of my convenience purchases. For you, it might be something else. But I guarantee there's money being wasted that you could redirect toward actual financial progress. The fourth strategy: Build income streams in your spare time, even tiny ones. All right, so I just said your main income is fixed in the short term, and that's true. But that doesn't mean you can't add income from other sources. And when you're making limited money, even small amounts of extra income make a bigger difference than you'd think. Here's how I think about this. Your main job is your foundation. It's stable, it's consistent, and it's what pays your bills. But side income, that's your accelerator. That's the money that actually helps you make progress faster. When I was making $32,000 for my main job, I started doing freelance writing on the side. And I wasn't making a ton, like maybe $200 to $300 per month. But you know what? That was almost a 10% increase to my income. And because I was already covering my basic expenses with my main job, that side income could go entirely toward financial goals. Here's the key with side income on a limited main income. You don't need to build a full business or work 60 hours per week. You just need to find ways to make an extra $100 to $300 per month, doing something that doesn't destroy your free time or mental health. This could be freelancing skills you already have. It could be doing gig work like DoorDash or Uber for just a few hours on weekends. It could be selling stuff you don't need anymore. It could be pet sitting or babysitting. It could be doing small tasks on TaskRabbit. The specific method matters less than just adding something. And here's what's cool about this. That extra $200 per month from side income invested over 25 years at 8% returns, that's about $185,000. An extra $200 per month is the difference between retiring with something versus retiring broke. I'm not going to lie, adding side income when you're already working full-time and tired is hard. But it's also the fastest way to accelerate your progress when your main income is limited. And you don't have to do it forever. Just do it until you've built some financial breathing room and your main income has grown. The fifth and final strategy: invest in increasing your earning potential, even on a tight budget. All right, last strategy. Everything I've talked about so far is about making progress with your current income. But the truth is, there's a limit to how much progress you can make on limited income. At some point, you need to increase what you earn. And that requires investing in yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don, I barely have money for basic expenses. How am I supposed to invest in myself? And I get it, but here's the thing. Investing in your earning potential doesn't have to mean going back to school or spending thousands on courses. When I was making $32,000, I spent about $30 per month on books, online courses, and certifications related to skills that could increase my income. That's 1% of my gross income. It felt like money I couldn't afford to spend, but it was actually the best investment I ever made. I learned digital marketing through free YouTube videos and a $99 course on Udemy. That skill eventually helped me get a better job that paid $45,000 instead of $32,000. That's $13,000 more per year, or about $1,000 per month, from a $99 investment plus my time. That's an insane return. Here's how to think about this strategically. What skills are valuable in the job market right now? What skills could help you earn more in your current career or switch to a higher paying career? And what's the cheapest way to learn those skills? For most valuable skills, you can learn them basically for free or very cheap through YouTube, free online courses, library books, and cheap certifications. You don't need a $50,000 degree. You need focused self-education on skills that employers will pay for. Set aside even $20 to $30 per month for self-education. That's like 4 coffees. And spend a few hours per week learning skills that could increase your income. Over time, this compounds just like investing does. A skill you learn this year could increase your income by thousands per year for the rest of your career. The mistake people make is thinking they need to increase their income first before they can invest in learning. But it's actually the opposite. You invest in learning, which increases your income, which then gives you more money to save and invest. Look, I'm not going to pretend that making financial progress on limited income is easy. It's not. It requires being more strategic, more disciplined, and more patient than people who make more money. You don't have the luxury of making financial mistakes and recovering easily. Every dollar matters more, but progress is absolutely possible. Small amounts matter, especially over time. Your savings rate matters more than dollar amounts. You can optimize spending right now. You can add small income streams, and you can invest in skills that increase your earning potential. I went from making $30,000 with zero savings and some credit card debt to making $50,000 with an emergency fund and investments growing in the background. That didn't happen because I suddenly got lucky or because I had some secret strategy. It happened because I followed these 5 principles consistently over several years. You're not going to become rich quickly on limited income, but you can make steady progress. You can build an emergency fund, you can get out of debt, you can start investing small amounts, and you can work toward increasing your income over time. Each of these things builds on the others, and over years they compound into real financial stability. If you're making limited income right now and you feel stuck, you're not. You just need to stop comparing yourself to people making twice what you make and start focusing on the progress you can make with what you have. Every $50 you save matters. Every percentage point increase in your savings rate matters. Every dollar of side income matters, and every skill you learn matters. Start somewhere. Pick one of these 5 strategies and implement it this month. Next month, add another one. In 6 months, you'll have made more progress than you thought possible. And in 5 years, you'll look back and barely recognize your financial situation because of the consistent small moves you made today. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and drop a comment telling me what your current income is and which of these strategies you're going to focus on first. I love hearing from people who are making it work on limited income because that's where I came from. Thanks for watching, and remember, you don't need a big income to make financial progress. You just need the right strategies and the commitment to keep moving forward even when it feels slow. Your financial situation can change, but only if you start making moves today. I'll see you in the next one.